I think my group member plagiarized their work. So, one of our teachers asked if anyone was interested in participating on a writing competition. Two of my closest friends and I thought, why not? And so we did. But the thing is, not only did we participate, but also some other transfer students from our class did as well. Not that we didn't like it. In fact, we know that they are really talented and we acknowledge that. So we all exchanged some good looks. My friend and I solely participated just to experience and enjoy it. One of the three transfer students, let's call her Tiff, has apparently been making drafts for her work. Although nobody really knew the theme for the writing competition until the very day. One of Tiff's close friends said so, that she's been preparing for it. On the day of the competition, just a few hours before we start, Tiff brought out this story that she had made and she wanted us to read it. Of course, I read it out loud, so we all know the content. None of my friends really minded knowing the content because two of them were on the category of poetry and I on the same as Tiff. I didn't care about it either. We all enjoyed reading, although it was somewhat familiar, but I brushed it off. Familiar. She seemed waiting for our feedback to watch me and my friend. I gave a positive one while my friend B just didn't even bother saying anything. So obviously Tiff used the story she created that fits for the theme of the competition. When the results are out that day, I wasn't there. So the next day, I found out she got second place. We congratulated her, but something just felt off. None of us did get an award though. Even though we were all at least, I see why you didn't get an award. Jesus. A few weeks later, as I was scrolling through Instagram, I stumbled upon this cartoon version story of a man that had traveled through time. I didn't understand it much, so I looked through the comments. There, a summary was given. I read it, and it was somewhat familiar. That's when it hit me. I read the story 1 or 2 years ago, and it was the same story as Tiff. The only changes were the protagonist's name. Everything else was so strikingly similar. I quickly screenshotted and sent it to my friend B, and she was just as surprised as I. We didn't talk about it again until days later that I brought it up. We both knew who it was, and mentioning her name was not even in the frame. We just we just looked at each other with disappointment, and we just kept this to ourselves. To think she won an award for it. How'd she even get away with this? I don't even know if it's even a plagiarized work. Is it if I had watched it from YouTube, but it's not a movie? If the writing judge's plagiarism software didn't pick up on the fact that it was taken out of somebody else's paragraph body on the internet somewhere, anywhere, because it's supposed to search everything. If it didn't catch it, and she was eligible to submit it, although it was gained through illicit means, technically she rightfully won. Now, I'm not saying it's right because you've detectived that you've found this other work that is strikingly similar. But at the same time, you can't be 100% sure. Well, it just looks like your pal pulled that old switcheroo and got away with that thing. That's really how that played out. You know, at the end of the day,